Okay, I'm going to give an overview to the DMS Parents Guide to FCAO. So FCAO has been around for about 10 years, started at the high school. The FCAO classes at DMS run on Edgenuity, which is a national provider of online courseware. So Edgenuity developed the courses and DMS teachers facilitate and grade the courses. An overall recommendation when your child's in an online class, it is a great skill to have to be successful in an online class, but your student may need some additional support, particularly in the beginning. You can get daily or weekly progress reports directly from the system, Edgenuity, so that you know exactly how your child is doing. And at the beginning of the semester, it's really where we want to keep a close eye on the students because we don't want them to get behind and then be playing catch up. So we want them to quickly develop a workable routine so that they can finish their assignments as they are assigned. Some FAQs. Who grades your child's work? DMS teachers. They teach both online and in the classroom, and they will grade all the written work, speaking assessments for world language classes. The best way to reach your child's online teacher is by email. And then through email, you can set up phone call, video chat, in-person meeting. Grading. So how grading works. Edgenuity maintains a calendar and assigns work every school day. Their calendar matches Fox Chapel's calendar. And every day, Edgenuity compares your child's progress with the target progress. We expect your child to stay within 5% of the target completion at all times. The reason is it is very difficult to get caught up once a student gets behind in an online class. So the online teachers, the counselors, we look at your child's grade and progress, and we will reach out to your student and to you if they are at risk. So the grades themselves are entered into PowerSchool every 3 weeks. But just for information, these progress grades are not calculated into the course final grade. The overall course grade is something called the relative grade, which is an Edgenuity term. So the relative grade in Edgenuity on the last day of the school year is the overall course grade. So to explain the 3 grades that Edgenuity has, they're all different, but they're all important. So the overall grade is simply the grade on the work that the student has submitted. So if a student has submitted 5 quizzes and got 5 90s, their overall grade is 90%. The actual grade, though, is that overall grade adjusted down if the student is behind. So if the student is on pace or ahead, the actual grade and the overall grade are the same. So that is our goal. These 2 grades should be exactly the same all year. What we look at all year mostly is the actual grade because it is so much more informative. So it tells us how the student is doing on the content and also how the student is doing in terms of their progress. So the relative grade comes in just at the end of the year. This is the grade the student would have if all unfinished assignments, whether they're not even late or they're not even due yet, are set equal to 0. So of course that grade is meaningless until the very end of the year because as the student is working through the course, there are lots of assignments that are not yet due, so they are not yet done. But what we do grab on the last day of the school year is the relative grade, and that is going to be your student's overall course grade, which goes on their report card. And the reason for that is on the last day of the school, the course is over and anything unfinished would be set equal to 0 and the grade is calculated. So all year we will look at the actual grade until right at the end of the school year, and then we take a look at this. Of course, your student will finish the year right on progress, having finished the entire course. All 3 grades are the same at the end. Okay, some common phrases that are kind of unique to Edgenuity that you may hear your child talking about. So what does it mean for a test to be locked? we have designed some built-in touch points along the way between the teacher and the student. After so many lessons, the student will reach a unit test review and then a unit test. But we have it set so that their test is locked until the online teacher checks in. So the online teacher will see on their dashboard that a student has completed a unit test review, and they will go in and just check to make sure that the review looked fine. They may reach out to the student, they may not. They will just review and make sure that they think that the student is ready for the unit test and then unlock it. So the purpose for this is to make sure that the student doesn't do poorly on the review and then just continue marching on and do poorly on the test. A second touch point we have between the teacher and the student is number of retakes. We have the classes set up so that if the student doesn't achieve a 70% on a quiz after 2 attempts, their class is locked and they need to reach out to their online teacher. The online teacher will see this as well on their dashboard. And again, this is to avoid the student marching through the class not doing well. So the teacher can see everything that your child has done, so can look at the quiz and see what they missed and provide some support to help your child learn the content better. The FCAO teachers are very helpful and they really are a great resource for your student. PE, just a little bit of information for PE if your child is enrolled in that. It doesn't include a fitness log, so the student has to do physical activity several times a week and enter that directly into Edgenuity. Also some notes on Keystone courses. The class is set to end by the date of the exam so that the student has the opportunity to reach all of the content before the exam, and there is prep work for the exams included in the online courses as well. So progress report. As a parent guardian of an FCA student, you can elect to receive this progress report by email daily or weekly directly from Edgenuity. I just want to go over all the information that it shows, because there's a lot of information in a small space. So it's hard to see on this, but the top row is the progress. So blue or green are good, red is bad. So we can see that this student is on target with their progress, so they are not behind in the class. The bottom row is the overall grade, which, as I mentioned, the overall grade is just the grade on the work that the student has done. So that's not the grade we're most interested in, but on the right, it shows the other 2 grades. So on the bottom right is the actual grade. So when you get this, you want to look at the top row, make sure that progress is where it should be, and take a look at the actual grade and make sure that is where we want it to be. To receive these daily or weekly reports, just let me know. Email me. I will add you to the system. The attendance policy is outlined fully online on the district website. And here are some important contacts for DMS, including my email. So feel free to email if you want set up for those progress reports or if you have any questions whatsoever.